Jill asked me to come up here just for a couple minutes and speak to y'all about what's ahead in 2026 and what's in store for you guys as contractors, leading your team, leading your company. And as you already saw, I don't know. And I think if we really sit on that for a minute as business owners, we all feel that, right? It's February of 26, so a lot of you guys probably have goals for the year and benchmarks, and Q1 is halfway through, and all these plans and dreams. But we all know we never know what's going to happen, right? Personally, professionally, etc. But what I do know is that we can control ourselves and that we can be prepared as contractors, as business owners, as humans, as citizens, as people. Does anybody know who this is? Dogman. Who said that? Amazing. Yes. If you don't know Dogman and you have a child between the ages of 5 and 10, I highly recommend the book. We used to call them comics. They're now called graphic novels. And this is my son's favorite character currently. I'm sure it'll change in a week. But I was reading a book, or one of the Dogman books with my son, and there was some episode, there's like a cat who's the bad guy, and the cat erased all books. And in that, everybody got dumb. And the whole little comic, graphic novel, whatever you call it now, is about everyone in his community being dumb. And so here's like one of the clips. He's like, if one more dumb thing happens, I'm gonna, and then there's a little, I don't know, a human pulling a cart and somebody marrying a trash can or something. Anyway, really cute little book. But I'm reading it like last week and I'm thinking to myself, yes, like I felt thoroughly convicted in that moment because I've been really busy for the last few years, running a business, raising 3 kids, trying to be present for my friends, my family, my community, and other than some smut that I enjoy on the beach, I can't remember the last time I actually picked up a book or a podcast and tried to really like improve myself as a person. And when we stop learning, when we stop investing in ourselves, I'm not talking about your team, I'm not talking about your company, I'm talking about you as a person, we get really flat, right? Like there's this flatness that exists. We go from having like ideas and paths and opportunities and windows and doors and things to explore and all these things to just kind of being like locked in a box, or like Dogman having just a blank page and nothing to do. Life gets busy. It's really easy to get comfortable. Like we all have parts of our job that we're really good at. We have parts of our life that are easy. And it's so easy to get comfortable. And it's so easy to just stay there. We can rely on things that have just worked for us. We can rely on what's urgent. Oh man, I'm so good at crossing off a to-do list. Like I'm so good at it. My favorite days are the days I have a big old to-do list because it's comfortable for me to cross off my to-do list. But all of you are still in this room. It is 80 degrees outside. There's a pool and 4 theme parks, and you guys are all sitting here, which tells me that there's a part of you, even if it's itty bitty, that wants to grow and to learn and maybe not stay comfortable. That looks really appealing. But when we stop learning, there is this flatness. But then these little things pop up, and these have popped up for me personally a lot in the last few years. Maybe I learned about cash flow analysis. That's a document you can get out of your QuickBooks. Nobody taught me about that. We kind of stop at P&L. Maybe we get into a balance sheet a little bit, but there's also a cash flow analysis, right? Or, gosh, Dave Scaturo, I really asked you to talk about hard conversations because I needed that talk. And growing in myself and being able to have the conversations that need to happen, even if they're uncomfortable or hard. Maybe it's a system that you need to build. And these things, they pop up while we're like lazy in our hammock, enjoying what's comfortable and what's easy and what's natural. But then these little things pop up and we start to realize, shoot, like, am I allowed to say a bad word? We got to shit or get off the pot type conversation. And so if you've ever had a conversation with me, you know I'm going to talk about psychology and therapy. And there's a theory in modern psychology called growth mindset, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It's, are you the person who is growing, or are you staying put? Are you going to sit in that hammock like I did for a year or two and cross off your to-do list and be like, yeah, I'm doing pretty well, things are going fine? Or are you going to dig into the areas that you can grow? And we all have our versions of this. It goes from, well, yeah, I know how to read my P&L, but I'm not really a numbers person. Anybody said that? No? Cool. You guys are awesome. Or I'm not good at computers. Or I think I'd just rather stay in the field. It's easier there, right? Managing people, not my strength. Nick, good job. Challenging yourself on that. So in a growth mindset, you are always trying to change. The opposite of that is fixed. So sales are down in your company. You have a fixed mindset. It's somebody else's fault. It's the economy. It's the market. It's that people don't want the product. It's nothing that I can do. Growth mindset, maybe it's in my sales process. Maybe it's in my connection. Maybe it's in my pricing. Maybe it's in my positioning. Employees, you have a fixed mindset. They're not cut out for this job. That subcontractor is not good enough for me. Growth mindset, maybe I have an onboarding problem. Maybe my systems are unclear. Maybe I need better SOPs. Learning new technology. Like I said earlier, not a tech person. All my notes for this speech are handwritten. I empathize with that one deeply. Growth mindset, I spent the last 2 weeks trying to build out a project management software for my team, and it was brutal. I'm not a tech person, but I'm not going to sit in that hammock. These aren't always excuses, but they feel like survival. We could get a little personal. Brad talked about this today, I think. Did you talk about fitness, Brad? Of course you did. Fixed mindset, it's my genetics. I've got an injury. I'll never be in shape. I've never been an athlete. I'm scared to go to the gym. Growth mindset, start small, do it. Or lastly, maybe in your leadership, it's a fixed mindset. I'm not a natural leader. I'm not good at hard conversations. I'm not ... fill in the blank. But in a growth mindset, maybe it's just natural, not natural to me yet. But I can practice. I can get better. I can hire help. You guys are all in this room, literally, to grow. Even if your growth that you came here today was to grow in a friendship, you're excited to see people. Maybe your growth was, I have no idea what I'm doing and I've got to figure it out. But literally everybody in this room is here to grow and to experience. This is the reason that Matt and I joined the PCA. And I know in the video it talks about we just joined an organization. We had no idea we started the company. But everyone's asking me this week, like, how'd you get involved? Why did you become chairperson? How did you stick this out? And the answer I keep coming back to is this mission. Like, the PCA is not here to tell us how to run our business. It's not a framework. It's not a roadmap. It's not a structure. It's not a franchise that you buy. It's taking what all of us are experiencing and making sense of it. I just chatted with two guys. I love Matt and Patrick separately over the lunch break, and we're both sharing in the same struggles, right? What do you do with a sub who's not performing? How do you get builders to sequence your work properly? We're having the same problems across the country, and because of the PCA, I was able to grow and understand and evolve. This organization is about excellence, professionalization, enrichment, resources, collaboration, support, access, insight, all these things that we need, and it's why we're here to grow. And so my whole career prior to this was teaching. I really lived in the intersection of education and leadership. I have seen firsthand what happens when we are intentional about learning and growing, changing our mindset, seeing the weaknesses, seeing the strengths, seeing how we can grow in those. And so I'm super excited that PCA, and maybe I had something to do with it, is really trying to take a push to help contractors think, lead, estimate, grow, produce, et cetera. In 2026, PCA is launching the Painting Contractors Institute, which is going to be an entire curriculum of resources and classes and trainings and webinars and online resources for us to be able to better educate and better create opportunities for you guys to continue to grow. I'm super excited about it. It's going to be powerful. You will learn more in emails. You will learn more in social media. You will learn more as we continue on this journey. I'm super excited to be a part of this. I'm thrilled that Jill has entrusted, or the board, technically, sorry, with this position to be able to take education and really pour it into you guys as leaders and as business owners. So I don't know what 2026 holds. However, I do know that in 2027, I will see you guys in New Orleans, and I'm super excited for the next year.